Listen up here. The restaurant industry is grueling and unpredictable, just like this show, from the front of the house to the back of the house and all in between. We will turn up the heat, you turn up the volume. I'm Chef Antonio Caruana. Welcome to the Tell All Podcast, The Burnt Hands Perspective.
This podcast contains explicit and potentially offensive material. You've been warned. Now buckle up, bitches. Let's go.
All right, listen here, Kristen. This is a question was asked to me one time, and it's so important because somebody asked me a question as a chef. I got rapid fired with questions one time in an interview. Okay, so before we even introduce you, I want to tell the story and why you're here.
Okay.
I was rapid fired one time as a chef, saying if you could have one animal and you were on a desert island and you could only have one animal to cook and survive on the rest of your life, what would it be? And I listened to people talk, and a lot of people were saying the chicken. I got it, the beef. Okay, yeah, you could. Me, instantly, without question, a pig, hog, pig, however you want to call it, pork. Yeah. And they're like, really? I'm like, do you know what you can do with pork? How many ways you can make pork delicious and live off of it, right? So with us today is
Nick.
Take the mic, my friend.
Come on, tell us about you.
Yeah, my name is Nick Tharp, and I'm president of the Indiana Pork Producers and serve the various pork farmers or pig farmers here in the state of Indiana.
Yeah. And Indiana is a big state.
Farming.
And you're one of, what, 3,000 certified registered farmers? Is that what you call it?
Yeah. So one of the 3,000 family pig farmers here in the state of Indiana.
So you're not only, your push for Indiana farming is to be able to bring the product all over the country or outside of that, right?
Yeah.
In our area, I'm very close, and I work tight with the Smithfield, Virginia. We're in Virginia Beach, so I'm sure you would call it a competitor, right? so I am involved with that. So I understand how much importance there is to the farming of it all. Mm-hmm. So what is it you guys are trying to do as a mission when it comes to bringing the product to people's table? What is that?
Yeah, so our goal is to provide a very safe product that is wholesome for people to consume, whether it be here in the state of Indiana, in the United States, or across the world. Right now, one of every 4 pigs produced here in the U.S. is actually consumed in another country.
Really?
So, not only are we, farming in our own background, want to make sure that we're being good stewards of God's resources, but also we're feeding a world that's hungry for pork.
And with that being said, if you're going on let's be honest, I'll be honest. So the American standard of what they allow to happen isn't as good as some other countries. So if you guys are producing in these other countries who have a higher standard of what they're importing and what they're serving their people, then your guys are focusing on a sustainable product and a sustainable animal that's going to be healthy and brought up right and humanely. That's the biggest thing that really worries a lot of people, I think, when they're switching over to being vegan or switching over to vegetarian and stuff. A lot of it has to do with the humane raising and things like that. Yeah. Does Indiana farming find that to be a thing?
Yeah, so as we look at it, not only here in the state of Indiana and really across all the U.S., there's a commitment to the we care principles. So we care for the animals, we care for the people that help us, because at our farm it's more than just my family that can care for our pigs.
How many people typically employed, or how many does it take to operate a common farm?
It really depends on the size and scale.
How about yours?
On ours, we have a group of a half a dozen people that help us each and every day. And it's, we have several pigs, but it comes down that we're providing care for each and every pig there every day. And our livelihood depends on their good caretaking, and we want to provide the best environment that we can to give them the opportunity to do what they do.
So you're looking
what
at
they're bred to do.
You're looking at their food, what they're being fed is a big. All that stuff comes down to the waters they're drinking. Everything comes down to that, right? It all comes down to the final product, really.
Yeah.
The final product is the meat on the plate.
Yeah, the meat on the plate that, whether that meat's served at my table each night or my neighbors or someone across the world, that it matters. And, you talk about the pig's nutrition. How often do you go see a nutritionist or have a nutritionist put your diet together?
You're in trouble. Yeah, right.
We work with a nutritionist that specializes in pig nutrition.
Really?
And in that, as that pig develops from when it's first born to when it reaches market weight, it may be fed 8, 9, 10 different feed rations that meet its biological needs during that time.
So I'm assuming, safe to say, your favorite animal to eat is pig, or do you have a preference?
I'm a meat eater.
Yes.
No doubt. But what's near and dear to our family's heart and our table is pork,
Sure.
because we depend on them to make our livelihood, and they depend on us each day to provide the care that they need. So
Preparing it, what's your favorite way? How does Indiana, or how do you prepare pork? What's your style?
Oh man, you can't beat pork off the smoker.
Yeah, everybody says that.
The
huh?
smoke,
Pork butt? Is it the butt you like?
No, smoked pork belly.
Oh, yeah.
Pork
Well,
butt, there
shit.
you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I mean,
classing
everybody
it up.
loves bacon. Why
Yeah,
not?
we're classing it up here.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I love a good smoked pork belly. That's
Yeah.
great. So I know your time is limited here, but we just want to talk about this. And is there anything you want to say in representing or saying what you want to say here? What would your final words be if you had to say it?
Here at the World Food Championships, and just watching the creativity of the chefs and what they can do with a simple cut of meat, and a pork belly is not a pork belly everywhere. It's all in how it's prepared, and so pork is such a versatile protein, and being able to see just what each one of these individuals are able to do with that protein to make a unique dish that is just amazing has been very cool to see, and great for those that take in this competition to look and see what ways they can go home and prepare pork for their family and their table in a unique way that can really make it more than just eating, but an experience.
Sure. So when I go, lastly here, when I'm envisioning here that you're getting inspired. So when I need inspiration in Smithfield, I can go talk to the farmers. We can go to the farmers of vegetables, and we can go get all these things that are indigenous to our area, and we get inspired to cook the product. So as a farmer, though, when you come to something like this, you go home thinking, okay, these chefs are actually serious. They know what they're doing. They're really taking pride in what they're doing, and it must influence you a little bit to go deeper in what you're doing, right? So to give a better product, I would hope, right?
Yeah, and just looking at the opportunity to bridge that gap of pairing with these chefs and really understanding what attributes of the pork that they desire to get the outcome that they want in that dish and that eating experience for their customers is very interesting. And any way that we can increase the popularity of pork on people's dinner plates is pretty awesome.
Sure. Awesome. Well, thank you
Versatile.
so much for being here. Chris, do you have anything you want to ask?
No, it's great to have you here. So, and we got to have one of the winners of the bacon competition was on the show already. So we've got to see some of those products.
You can't win with bad bacon. Man.
Yeah.
No.
It's,
So
gotta love it. One of my favorite foods.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, man.
Yeah,
and taking
thanks
your
for
time
having
to
me
be
on.
here with us. So
right.
thanks again, and keep
Thank
that
you, Nick.
pork life rolling.
Pork life.
Pork life. Pork it up.
Ciao.
All right. Ciao for now. Thanks.